Ever had someone explode at you for something tiny, say something cruel and completely disproportionate to what happened? Or maybe it's not even directed at you. The more toxic someone acts, the more it says something about them and the less it has to do with you. But here's the hard truth. Calling them out won't fix it. Let me show you a better way. Hi, my name is May, and I help people tune into their intuition, discover their unique gifts, but also shadows, and manifest the life of their dreams. You probably clicked on this video because you have encountered people who have treated you unjustly or reacted in an exaggerating manner. Even if you did something that made them angry, they reacted in a more toxic, mean, and cruel way than you anticipated. And you think, like, I didn't deserve that. I don't deserve that kind of treatment. Why are you treating me this badly? And in this type of situation, these people get overly emotional and start spouting all the things that they've collected on you, and they're starting to say all the things that they think about you. And it really is very tempting in that type of situation to react and defend yourself, like, no, I did that because of that, or you don't get to talk to me like that, you don't get to disrespect me like that, you also did this and this and this. And then we start to get this discussion where we are projecting onto each other our past pains, all of our frustrations, and all of the things that we believe about what they are thinking about us. And that is what we call the Eden loop. So most of the times we will react to that. We will protect ourselves, and that's absolutely a normal thing to do. And when I explain to people that they overreact because they are projecting something of their past, they are projecting their shame, their guilt, their view of the world onto you. And it is due to past pains, past things that were hurtful for them, that they are projecting all of this onto you. And of course, you are not responsible to take that on. But if you make the mistake of saying, yeah, but that's your shit, that's your part, you need to take care of that, you will understand that not only do they not feel seen by you, they will also feel like you're arrogant and that you don't acknowledge their pain at all, that you don't understand them at all. And so that is one of the first steps to do, that it is to understand that they are feeling something real here, which is why they are reacting so much. If it wasn't real, they wouldn't react this strong. This doesn't mean, though, that you have to take this into you and make it your responsibility. There is a fine balance there. So recently I've encountered a situation where I had an issue with someone, and that issue got resolved quite quickly. I didn't do something that I was supposed to do, but we discussed it with that person. I discussed it with that person, and everything was all well. I already apologized to this person. But then this third person felt responsible for my behavior and got angry over that. And she was throwing things at me like, I don't understand why you behaved like that. You are responsible for this. You make me feel so ashamed about you. I don't get how you can behave this irresponsibly. I don't get the choices that you make. And she was really throwing a lot of things at me. And I was feeling like, this is none of your fucking business. Like, why are you butting in? This is between me and the other person, which we've already resolved. And I really felt like saying, like, get your nose out of my business. This has nothing to do with you. And that was the first thing that I felt. Now, I know that she's a very insecure person and that she feels a lot of shame and guilt from her own childhood, from her own life. And she was reflecting all of that shame, all of that fear of looking bad to the outside world to me. And I was not having it, but I chose to react differently. So if I would have, in that situation, yelled at her and say the things that I want to say to her, we would just be getting angrier and angrier at each other, and it would just reach a climax. And we would end up disrespecting each other. I've also had it in the past that when I told my parents what I truly thought and I let all of my anger get out at them, they afterwards pretended that they understood, but they actually didn't, because then they would say to other people that, like, yeah, she's mean. Don't say certain things to her because otherwise she will get angry. And for a moment I thought that they understood my emotions because I expressed them, but they ended up not understanding it. And so I started to apply the technique I'm about to explain to you, and this shifted my relationship to these toxic people around me. I'm not saying that they are toxic, but they are exuding toxic behavior due to their painful past. And by applying this technique, I now have a much better relationship with the people around me. Now, when I explain this technique to my friends, a lot of the times I get back, why do I have to do this? Why am I the one who has to take the high road? What do I have to win with this? And I always say, you are not the loser by choosing to get in a higher vibration. You are not the loser by being the one who influences the energy of the conversation. You are actually the one who is taking control. You're actually the one who is obtaining what you want by giving them a simple validation, by giving yourself the validation. So my technique is, first of all, to acknowledge. So before I enter the conversation, or even when the conversation happens and I didn't expect them to get that outburst, I will immediately hold my breath, because I recognize that, oh my gosh, I'm going to send something back. And then I consciously make a choice. I'm going to react gracefully now. And I'm going to acknowledge their pain. I'm not going to make it mine. I'm not going to make it my responsibility, but I'm going to acknowledge their pain. I'm going to try to see it from their point of view. And I'm going to acknowledge, yes, I understand why you feel this way. I understand why this was hard for you. And the second thing that I do that really helps me a lot is to act like a professional, as if I'm a professional caretaker and that this other person is my client. I will accept that they file a complaint, and I will take note. I say things like, okay, I'm taking note. I will pay attention for the next time, and I will truly listen to them. And what this does is that it breaks the energy, it breaks the Eden loop in that moment, and that person feels seen. And this has made my relationships so much better with the people around me. whenever I feel like I'm going to get emotional, I make a click. I'm going to be a professional now. I'm going to validate their emotions. I'm going to receive it. And I'm going to deal with my own emotions later, because obviously I will be angry, but I will process it so that I can think through how I'm going to deal with it later on. Whenever I see that that person has calmed down, has felt seen, feels lighter now that they've thrown their shit onto me, I think very strategically how I will say, how I will set my boundaries. Like when this person was yelling at me about the situation I had with the other person, I said to her, okay, but this is between me and person A. We've already discussed this. I already apologized to her for my behavior, and I really think that it is between me and her, even though I understand your emotions. And in the future, I prefer to settle this with her, even if I do appreciate that you feel concerned about this. So by doing this, I have helped a lot of clients get a better relationship with their loved ones, understanding them better, because you pause and you take the time to understand what this other person is feeling. They feel seen and they gain, weirdly, respect for you. And of course, you will still have negative emotions that you've taken with you. Even if you try to protect yourself, there will also be this part of you that thinks, who the hell allowed you to talk to me like that? You don't have the right to talk to me like this. And I will tell about the situation to other people who are safe to talk to, who understand me. And I will find many different ways to get that energy out. But I will not allow that energy to slip with people who are energetically sensitive, in that sense, who are not emotionally intelligent enough to carry my emotional weight. So I will not give it back to them. And I find that it makes our relationship a lot more fluid and a lot easier to take on. Sometimes when, after a while, they start feeling better with themselves, you can start saying certain things, but you need to measure your words. That's the secret. So I hope you found this video helpful, and if you needed help with your relationships using human design, I can always help you with that. Just book a free alignment call with me. The link is down below. See you in the next video. Bye.